I'd like to invite actually the first speaker of my session, Thomas, to join us and to present actually briefly the work that is carrying out in the thematic group that he leads together with Zixin Sun from China. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, thank you, Cristina. Thank you for the organization of this meeting in Valencia. My name is Tomás Llorente. I'm an architect. I've been working for municipalities for over 15 years now, especially medium-sized municipalities. So I have learned what are the difficulties of these municipalities in achieving SDGs and becoming a smart city as much as they can. So I had the pleasure of leading this deliverable together with Xanthi King about the impact of frontier technologies in cities, especially this one about IoT. So it's been told already that in cities many things happen. A lot of population is concentrated, is the places where GDP is mostly generated, but also there are many challenges that cities face, such as the consumption of energy and the emissions of CO2 and rest of pollution. So in this trilogy of deliverables, what we are aiming to do is to offer a very synthetic, easy to read, general vision of how technologies are impacting cities, so that cities stakeholders can have a general vision and have the whole picture of how technologies are impacting cities. And if they're interested in some kind of technology, there are other deliverables developed by U4SEC that are going deeper into these technologies. So there are different trends of technology now. There's intelligent, digital, and a mixture. These technologies, as I said before, are being developed more deeply into other U4SEC deliverables. And what we are trying to offer these stakeholders is a general vision and that we have articulated into a trilogy, which is the impact of sensing technologies and IoT in cities. This is the first deliverable that is going to be published shortly, hopefully. There are other two deliverables to come related to artificial intelligence, which is a very powerful technology trend impacting cities and almost everything else. And also data processing and computation in cities, because as we will see later, there is a big difficulty in medium and small cities, like the one I'm working now in Navarán in Murcia region. That's a little city. And we are really having a lot of difficulties in having data that are really useful for us in such a small village. So particularizing this deliverable about sensing technology, we have made a lot of improvement in the sensing technology that started like in the 60s, and now we are achieving a lot more of precision and usability in the sensors. So this deliverable has been structured into several chapters dealing with city IoT, drones, wearables, indoor and mobility positioning, integrating sensing and management, smart manufacturing and industrial IoT, which is surprisingly growing, even in small villages like the one I'm working at. There's, Murcia. It's a southeastern region in Spain that exports fruits and vegetables, tomato, cucumbers, peppers, to the whole Europe. And this specific sector has been developed with industrial IoT, even in small villages. So that is one thing we have to be glad about. Also urban environmental monitoring, electric vehicle charging, and then the conclusions and two annexes of a very interesting aspect we will be speaking later is that related with education and how we are teaching our children to make smart cities more livable, as we will see later. So what we wanted to make here easy for city stakeholders is to make this filtering of data into useful information for also specifically small and medium cities, because there are a big amount of data, but not all the data are worth to make better policies that just like Christina said before. So we have to make this filtering, taking the serviceable available data from all the available data, and then seeing among this data which are operable by city stakeholders in each municipality. That will give us a path, a funnel to taking from the beginning the serviceable operable data, then establish the metrics that really apply to our municipalities, and then developing these high-level metrics into indicators that are really the pillars that support the future strategy of this municipality. Then I would like to make a quick review of some of the chapters that compose this deliverable we're introducing today. The aim we had here is how to land technology into the built environment, just like Robert said before. So in City IoT, we like the metaphor of saying that buildings are the urban tissue cells. You have these images here, and you can see how a map of a city is quite similar to a organic tissue. There are different buildings that group each other and relate with each other in a way that cells of the same tissue relate with each other in a living organism. So that's the approach that we wanted to make in this chapter. And this is an experiment we made in Collado Villalba in Madrid region. It's a city of almost 70,000 inhabitants. And we really achieved to make this using IoT technology, among others, to identify which kind of user gets in and hops out the different lines of the bus in this city. This way, we achieved a double objective, which was to make more efficient the frequency of the lines and to more precisely adapt the size of the buses that are needed to deploy the best service possible. So this is one example of how technology can really impact a city. For example, drones. There are a lot of uses of drones for inspection of different facilities, also in agrotech. And the one thing that we did also in Collado Villalba is to deploy a drone system for surveillance led by the policemen. So we formed 12 drone pilots among the police officers. Another chapter is wearables. There are lots of applications there, from health to wellness to security, and you can use wearables every day. As a matter of fact, it is said that the most important sensor of a smart city is the mobile phone, actually. So that's a kind of wearable that we are all using. Another chapter, very interesting, was indoor positioning. There are different terms you can use it. And the example that I'm showing you here is how we used indoor positioning to deal one of the issues of cities, which is an energy consumption. This is a heating floor, and there is an insulation board. There's the image there that looks like a giant cookie. It's made out of rice straw and natural and recycled materials. So what we achieve here is very important energy saving. You can see in the left side image the right and lower part. This is this new material developed by rice straw. And then if you take this thermal image, you can see that there is a big difference in insulation, so that if you multiply this 3 to 5 different degrees Celsius of difference of insulation for all the square meters that are heated in a city, you will have the range of the importance of this indoor positioning system, so that the people in houses or in buildings can set the ideal temperature for their square meter they're working at. So finally, and to achieve the deadline of 1 minute more.
Okay?
Yes?
So,
1
please
minute.
stick to the time.
This is the, I think, the before last slide.
Very good.
This deliverable finishes with 2 annexes, not very related with technology by itself, but in a transversal way. So there is one thing that smart cities are doing, is generating different kind of challenges. From data vulnerability, we are aging, and that's a chronic disease. We are increasing the degenerative illnesses too, and there is a proposal from Smart Healthy Citizen Foundation centered in education, and they are making these different activities in different cities now, having a very high rate of increasing the levels of wellness of citizens, and also so that they get smart citizens educated for smart city preservation. And the last, I assure, slide is, as a public servant we have to make a real change in how we are educated with competences we are needing to have in order to bring 4.0 public services to citizens, because it's not worth to keep doing the things that we are doing in the bureaucratic areas. And I think this, for technical, methodological, social, and personal capabilities, we need to be implemented into the city staff. And, sorry, thank you. Sorry for the delay.